Yes people, welcome back. So this week I've actually come to the Peak District. It's been a long time coming. I think it's the first time that I've been to the Peak District this year, easily. It's got to be well over 6 months since I've been. So I've come out for an overnight wild camp. I'm with my mate Michael and we're in search for the Bleaklow Bomber, which is actually an aircraft that crashed in 1948. The weather's pure grim, to be honest. At the moment it is anyway. We're just out of the wind because we've dipped into this little valley as we're going up the path. But it's really boggy. We've had loads of rain and you guessed it, we've got loads of clag. Back out in the clag once again. We wouldn't have it any other way, would we? But according to the weather forecast, it's actually going to clear up later on to the point where it actually might be sunny. Guessing that's our turning.
We made our way off the main path and into the start of the boggy open moorland section that leads us up to higher shelf stones. There is a very limited phone signal in this area, so it's key to have relatively good navigational skills as well as offline maps downloaded.
If you're going to fall, make sure I video it. Now it's proper opened up now, so it's a little bit more windy. Now we're on an exposed area, but it doesn't look like we've got that far to hike, judging by the map anyway. We're just going to find this aircraft and then we're going to head on up to the Bleaklow summit. I'm sure the weather was supposed to get better, not worse.
That was slipping. Bollocks.
There's your water source. So I think the top of this hill is higher shelf stones and the wreckage is somewhere in this direction. I'm not actually sure whereabouts it is, but I know the rough area. So we're just going to have a look about, see what we can find. I've already spotted something, I'm not sure what. I'm presuming there's more than this. It's a shame it's too windy to get drones out, because then you could fly up and you could have a good aerial view and see where all the parts are. Here we are though, look at this. That looks similar to whatever that other bit was down there. Yeah, this is pretty mad. There's a shoe. I presume that's not a passenger.
I'd be worried if it was.
Who's its boot? When I'd seen pictures of it, I didn't realise the size of all the parts. Rest in peace. Got to be something to do with engine here. Not like I have a clue about planes. Oh, there's another one there, look. Wow. Look at the radiator.
The B-29 Bleaklow Bomber crash site features the remains of a US Air Force Superfortress aircraft. In November 1948, the plane crashed due to a fatal navigation error in poor visibility. All 13 people on board sadly lost their lives. The aircraft ruins themselves include an engine turbine as well as a portion of the body of the plane. Under no circumstances should any items be taken away from the crash site. The site itself is a lonely and sombre place. Please be respectful.
Right, so we've had a good look round here. We've noticed a little trig point in distance, so it'd be rude not to go bag that.
After bagging higher shelf stones, we had a mooch on over towards the Bleaklow summit, the second highest hill in the Peak District, not without jumping over a few boggy sections of path.
It's alright.
As the weather finally started to look decent, we could see the highest point of Bleaklow in the distance.
So we are now finally at the summit of Bleaklow. Here we are, the summit of Bleaklow, and because it's a 2,000 footer, it's actually a mountain. Should be a good little test at Lanchan. Right, all pitched up in the down gear as well now.
I hope I don't f***ing freeze to death.
You what? We've got a couple of Lanchans on shore tonight. Let us know which colour you prefer in the comments. I actually prefer this brown colour to the green. The only reason why I bought the green one is because my Hilleberg Solo is brown, so I just wanted to switch it up a little bit and get a different colour tent. So after all that shocking clag and rain we had earlier, look at the visibility now, spot on. Sunset sort of behind those clouds around there, so you can't really see much left of that. Right, it's too cold out here. It's time to get intense. Get some food, mate. It's hard to find a nice flat spot for the stove whilst you're in the tent. I'll tell you what, I've done well not to break these. Cheese, pepper. So I've got the eggs in, I've cut up some pepper, I've put that in. I've just got some cheese to go in as well. So I'll put that on top. And I've got some avocado on the side. Not a bad little omelette, that. Bon appetit. Tell you what, get this door shut. Get this door shut. Right, brethren, that's my scran done. So I think I'm going to snooze now. And I'll see you in the morning. Well, morning everybody. As you can see, pure clag fest this morning. It did look like we were getting a little bit of a sunrise. I set the camera up for a time lapse, and the next time I looked out, yeah, we're all gone. And now clag's fully rolled in. So last night I had a really good sleep. Not long. I think last time I checked my phone it was about midnight. And then I set my alarm for 5 AM hoping for a sunrise. But nah. And to be fair, I was pretty knackered yesterday. I did an early shift, so I'd been up since like 5:30 yesterday morning. Worked all day yesterday. Drove down here at tea time, met up with Michael, hiked where we hiked, up to see that plane wreckage, and then up to Bleaklow summit. And then we found this little spot which is called Herne Stones. So we're not far off the Bleaklow summit, and we're not far off the overexposed wreckage. And then today won't be hanging about too long because I'm working again today. So I'll be driving home back to Bradford. Should take me, if we get back to the car quite early before rush hour, should take me about an hour and a half to get back to Bradford. Might even have 40 winks when I get home. Get a bath, chill out for a little bit, and then head into work this evening. But I'm on a late today, early yesterday, late shift today. So just enough time to squeeze a quick wild camping. So I'll show you There's a little setup from the top of Vern Rocks. I've only just said it. That's some short-term memory right there. Look at that there. Pair of Lanshans. Look at that clag. You can see how people get lost around here, because every single direction just looks the same. Just open, misty, claggy moorland. Yeah, clag. Short and sweet little camp, wasn't it, really?
Right, what do you need? I'm ready to go. Ready.
Ready, yeah? Let's get out of here. Right, goes without saying, leave no trace, you know the score. I keep telling you, but I'm sure you know by now. In other words, take all your fucking shit with you.
Where's the path? Is it this?
There, I think, I don't know. Yeah. We're going that way. Somewhere that way.
Oh, let's go down this way.
How would you rate your sleep out of 10?
About 4 or 5. Kept waking up every half hour or so for some weird ass reason.
4 or 5. What about your food?
About 7.
About 7. About 7. What did you have?
I had the Reva chicken flavour noodles.
Noodles. That's what it's all about. Can't beat noodles when you're camping. I went for a shitty omelette. It was quite nice, but just a bit of a pain to make. And I've got egg all over my lanchan. It's like following the banks of Loch Lomond all again. Not entirely sure if we're following a path or a river here. No, definitely a path.
Bit Tony.
There's your water source. Whoa. No slip. I'd rather drink my own piss than some of this water.
Yeah.
Might be a slight exaggeration. Tapping this. Don't even think it's a hill of any sort. I think it's just for navigational purposes. But I'm having it. We're not even that far away from the road now. Right, that's you.
It is indeed.
I'll see you next time.
In a bit.
In a bit. Safe travels.
Same to you.
Well, Volvo's still here then. Oh yes, it's good to be back in the whip, as always. Decent little camp that, to be honest. Met up with a fellow YouTuber. I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well, so check that out if you can. He's on about 300 subs or something, so it'd be nice to give him a little boost. I'm sure we can do that. So when I met Michael for the first time, we actually hiked up Scafell Pike. He'd never been to Lake District, so I thought, do you know what? If he's going to go to Lake District, we've got to show him Scafell Pike. So we hiked up from Seathwaite, went up onto Hillcrag and all that, and then down past the corridor route on the way back. We were going to camp out that night, but we just didn't bother. He had a lightweight trekking pole DCF tent and the winds were really up. So I don't think he fancied smashing it to bits. So we just did a day hike on that one, which I didn't actually film. So I've said since then, I think that was last autumn or something, Might have even been closer to last summer. And I've always said since then to him, we'll get out on another camp at some point where we actually camp. He lives about an hour and a half away, but further down south. Obviously, I live about an hour and a half away further up north. So Peak District is a good little meeting point. And I just want to quickly give you all a massive thank you for these views, watching the videos and that. Honestly, all the comments and that, they're just so sick. And I really do appreciate it. Every single last one of you. And I don't thank you properly enough, really, but yeah, man. Alright, anyway, it's not fucking Live Aid or Oscars. Right, thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that like button. Give it a thumb up, or a thumb down. Depends what you think. I don't mind the thumbs down. Give it a thumb down if you want. Right, see you in the next one. Peace out in a bit.